Good morning, students. I myself, Dr. Vasant B. Kadam, Associate Professor, Department of Botany, KTHM College, Nasik. Students, today we are going to learn the second method of representation of data, that means graphical presentation of data. Now, the graphical presentation of data classified into four different groups. One is histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve, and Ogilvy curve. Meaning of graphical representation of data. Graphic representation is another way of analyzing numerical data. A graph is a sort of chart through which statistical data are represented in the form of lines or curves drawn across the coordinated points plotted on its surface. Graphs enable us in studying the cause and effect relationship between two variables or two characters. Graphs helps to measure the extent of change in one variable when another variable changes by a certain amount. Graphs also enables us in studying both time series and frequency distribution as they give clear account and precise picture of problem. Graphs are also easy to understand and eye-catching. Graphical representation of data. The data which has been represented in the tabular form can be displayed in pictorial form by using graph. A graphical presentation is the easiest way to depict a given set of data. A graphical representation is a visual display of data and statistical results. It is often more effective than presenting data in tabular form. There are different types of graphical representation, and which is used depends on the nature of the data and the type of statistical results. Graphical representation is the visual display of data using plots and charts. It is used in many academic and professional disciplines, but most widely so in the field of mathematics, medicine, and the sciences. Graphical representation helps to quantify, sort, and present data in a method that is understandable to a large variety of audiences. Several types of mediums are used for expressing graphics, including plots, charts, and diagrams. Visualization techniques are ways of creating and manipulating graphical representation of data. We use these representations in order to gain better insight and understanding of the problem we are studying. Pictures can convey an overall message much better than a list of numbers. Now we are going to learn the general principle of graphical representation of data. There are some algebraic principles which apply to all types of graphic representation of data. In a graph, there are two lines called coordinate axis. One is vertical, known as y-axis, and the other is horizontal, called x-axis. These two lines are perpendicular to each other. Where these two lines intersect each other is called zero or the origin. On the x-axis, the distances right to the origin have positive value. See in the figure. And distances left to the origin have negative value. On the y-axis, distances above the origin have a positive value, and below the origin have a negative value. See, this is the negative value of y, here is the positive value of y, here is the positive value of x, and now this negative value of x. Types of graphical presentation. Students, in graphical presentation, various four types are there. Now we do the first, that means histogram. A histogram is a vertical bar chart that depicts the distribution of a set of data. Unlike run charts or control charts, a histogram does not reflect process performance over time. It's helpful to think of a histogram as being like a snapshot, while a run chart or control chart is more like a movie. Histogram is the most common form of graphical presentation of data. When we are unsure what to do with a large set of measurements presented in a table, we can use a histogram to organize and display the data in a more user-friendly format. A histogram will make it easy to see where the majority of values falls in a measurement scale and how much variation there is. Histogram is helpful when we want to do the following: summarize large data sets graphically. We can see that a set of data presented in a table is not easy to use. We can make it much easier to understand by summarizing it on a tally sheet and organizing it into a histogram. Compare process results with specification limits. If we add the process of specification limit to our histogram, we can determine quickly whether the current process was able to produce good products. Specification limits may take the form of length, weight, density, quantity of materials to be delivered, or whatever is important for the product of a given process. Communicate information graphically. The team members can easily see the value which occurs most frequently. Use a tool to assist in decision making. Method of plotting histogram. For plotting a histogram, one has to take a graph paper. The value of the variable are taken on the horizontal axis scale, known as x-axis, and the frequencies are taken on the vertical axis scale, known as y-axis. For each class interval, a rectangle is drawn with the equal to the length of the class interval and height according to the frequency of the class interval. When class interval are of equal length, which would generally be the case in the type of data you are likely to handle in school situations, the heights of rectangles must be proportional to the frequencies of the class intervals. When the class interval are not of equal length, the areas of rectangles must be proportional to the frequencies indicated. Most likely you will not face this type of situations. Now, see, this is the picture of histogram. Frequency polygon. Frequency polygon is simply a set of points joined up by straight lines. The frequency polygon is a graph that displays the data by using lines that connect points plotted for the frequencies at the midpoints of the class. The frequencies are represented by the heights of the points. When to use? Frequency polygons are used to plot frequencies of data in different classes and are useful to show pattern and trends within the data. Drawing frequency polygon, draw a horizontal and vertical axis. The frequency is usually measured against the vertical axis and the values of variables being measured are shown on the horizontal axis. Mark points to show the frequency in each class. Connect these points with straight lines to complete the frequency polygon. A frequency polygon is a closed figure that is formed by joining the top midpoints of all the rectangles of histograms using a straight line. Whereas frequency curve is the curve that is obtained by joining the top midpoints of all rectangles of a histogram using a freehand. The only difference between the frequency curve and a frequency polygon is that a frequency polygon is drawn by joining points by a straight line. Frequency curve is drawn by a smooth hand. When frequency polygon is smoothed out, then it is known as frequency curve. A frequency polygon is almost identical to a histogram. which is used to compare sets of data or to display a communicative frequency distribution. It uses a line graph to represent quantitative data. Statistics deals with the collection of data and information for a particular purpose. The tabulation of each run for each ball in cricket gives the statistics of the game. Tables, graphs, pie charts, bar graph, histograms, polygons, etc. are used to represent statistical data pictorially. Frequency polygons are a visually substantial method of representing quantitative data and its frequencies. Let us discuss how to represent a frequency polygon. Steps to draw frequency polygon. To draw frequency polygons, first we need to draw histogram and then follow the below steps. Now first steps after the formation of histogram, choose the class interval and mask the value on the horizontal axis. Step number 2, mask the mid value of each interval on the horizontal axis. Step number 3, mask the frequency of the class on the vertical axis. Number 4, corresponding to the frequency of each class interval, mark a point at the height in the middle of the class interval. Step number 5, connect these points using the line segment. And step number 6, last, the obtained representation is a frequency polygon. Let us consider an example to understand this in a better way. For example, in a batch of 400 students, the height of students is given in the following table. Represent it through a frequency polygon. Now, height of students are classified into 4 class intervals. First class having 140 to 150 centimeter. Second class 150 to 160 centimeter. Third class having 160 to 170 centimeter. And last, fourth class having 170 to 180 centimeters are the 4 various classes. Number of students, that means frequencies. Now in between 140 to 150 centimeter, out of 400 students, 74 students having the height in between 140 to 150, 163 students having the height in between 150 to 160 centimeter, 135 students having the height in between 160 to 170 centimeter, and 28 students having the height in between 170 to 180 centimeters. The total number of students are 400. The first class, the frequency is 74. Second class, the frequency of students is 163. Third class, the frequency of student is 135. And fourth class having 28. The total frequencies of each class is known as the total frequency of your data. The heights are represented on the horizontal axis on a suitable scale as shown. The number of students is represented on the vertical axis on a suitable scale as shown. Now rectangular bars of width equal to the class size and the length of the bars corresponding to a frequency of the class interval is drawn. A, B, C, D, E, F represents the given data graphically in form of frequency polygon as. See the number of students and height of students in centimeters. Now the first class intervals in between 135 to 140, students having the height 137.5, next 145, next 155, 165, 175 are the midpoint of the class. Frequency polygons can also be drawn independently without drawing histograms. For this, the midpoint of the class interval, known as class mark, are used to plot the points. Now, for calculating class mass is equal to upper limit of the class, for example 140, plus lower limit of the class 135 divided by 2. Now next is cumulative frequency curve or OGU. The next type of graph that can be used represent the cumulative frequencies for the classes is called the cumulative frequency graph or OGU. The OGU is a graph that represents the cumulative frequencies for the classes in a frequency distribution. The cumulative frequency is the sum of the frequencies accumulated up to the upper boundaries of the class in the distribution. An OGU is a graph that represents the cumulative frequencies for the classes in a frequency distribution. It shows how many of values of the data are below central boundaries. Steps for constructing an OGU. Draw and label the X horizontal and the Y vertical axis. Represent the cumulative frequencies on the y-axis and the class boundaries on the x-axis. Plot the cumulative frequency at each upper class boundary with the height being the corresponding cumulative frequency. Connect the points with segments. Connect the first point on the left with the x-axis at the level of the lowest lower class boundary. Cumulative frequency curve. A curve that represents the cumulative frequency distribution of group data on a graph is called as cumulative frequency curve or an OGU. Representing cumulative frequency data on a graph is the most efficient way to understand the data and derive results. Now, on y-axis, it is a cumulative frequency, and on the x-axis, marks of the students. Advantages of graphical representation of data. Now, first advantage is acceptability. Such a report is acceptable to busy persons because it easily highlights the theme of the report. This helps to avoid wastage of time. Number two, comparative analysis. Information can be compared in terms of graphical representation. Such comparative analysis helps for quick understanding and attention. Number three, less cost. Information, if descriptive, involves use time to present properly. It involves more money to print the information, but the graphical presentation can be made in a short but catchy view to make the report understandable. It obviously involves less cost. Number four, decision making. Business executives can view the graphs at a glance and can make a decision very quickly, which is hardly possible through the descriptive reports. Next, logical ideas. If tables, design, and graphs are used to represent information, then a logical sequence is created to clear the idea of the audience. Next, helpful for less literate audience. Less literate or illiterate people can understand graphical representation easily because it does not involve going through line by line or any descriptive report. Less efforts and time. To present any table, design, image, or graphs require less efforts and times. Furthermore, such a presentation makes a quick understanding of information, less error and mistakes. Qualitative or informative or descriptive reports involve errors or mistakes, as graphical representations are exhibited through numerical figures, tables, or graphs. It usually involves less error and mistakes. Next, a complete idea. Such a representation creates a clear and complete idea in the mind of the audience. Reading 100 pages may not give any scope to make a decision, but an instant view or looking at a glance obviously makes an impression in the mind of the audience regarding the topics or subject. And last, use in the notice board. Such a representation can be hanged in the notice board to quickly raise the attention of employees in any organization. Now, disadvantages of graphical representation of data. The graphical representation of reports is not free from limitations. The following are the problems of graphical representation of data or reports. Costly. Graphical representation of data reports are costly because it involves images, colors, and paints. A combination of material with human efforts makes the graphical presentation expensive. Number two, more time. Normal reports involves less time to represent, but graphical representation involves more time as it requires graphs and figures which are depends on more time. Number three, errors and mistakes. Since graphical representation are complex, there is each and every chance of error and mistakes. This causes problems for a better understanding of general people. Lack of secrecy. Graphical representation makes the fully presentation of information that may hamper the objectives to keep something secret. Next, problem to select a suitable method. Information can be presented through various graphical methods and which should be the suitable method is very hard to select. And last, the problem of understanding. All may not be able to get the meaning of graphical representation because it involves various technical matters which are complex to general people. Thank you.